Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
And between the bricks here at Moret Stadium in Hickory, North Carolina, it's Division II men's lacrosse action between the North Greenville Crusaders of Conference Carolinas as they take on the 8th-ranked Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. We come back on the other side of this break. I'll bring in my broadcast partner this afternoon for today's broadcast between the Bears and the Crusaders coming up in just a bit. Moret Stadium, Brian Rushing here this afternoon. I'll bring in my broadcast partner, Jamie Dickinson. Jamie, this afternoon, you've got a Lenoir-Rhyne club that is trying to get off an early season loss. They took that loss to UIndy last weekend in a very close affair, as it turned out, though a slow start for the Bears. Today they try to right the ship against these North Greenville Crusaders.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a difficult game for the Bears. They didn't have a preseason scrimmage because it got canceled because of weather. And in the first half, they looked like a team who hadn't played except against themselves in practice. So they got it together in the second half, won the second half by 2 goals, won the ground ball game, won the face-off game, won the clear game. Unfortunately, they lost the turnover game, and that was the difference in the contest last weekend. So that's all correctable mistakes. And they'll be able to right the ship after a good week of practice and get after it here this afternoon.
Well, you mentioned the cold weather creating a cold start for the Bears last weekend. Not going to have that problem today. The conditions here are absolutely pristine. And if that's a harbinger of things to come, I would imagine the Bears are going to have a real good day offensively in the early going.
Yeah, they were all not very happy with their performance last week and had to go and look themselves in the mirror and figure out, okay, what do I got to do to make this team better? And there's some team stuff they needed to do, but it was some individual stuff, just like catching and throwing the ball was the biggest problem with the turnover game. Was just simple passes were either going over people's heads or just being dropped.
Now, this is the second matchup between the Crusaders. The Crusaders are a relatively young program. They just got started in 2015.
Right.
Last year, they faced off against each other in Tigerville, South Carolina. The Bears got off to a phenomenally quick start, was able to hang on and win 9-8 against these Crusaders. What do you see happening today in the first meeting between these two clubs here between the bricks?
I think what the Bears need to do, they spent all week this week thinking about what they did or did not do right last week. What they need to do right now is just turn off their heads and just play. See what's in front of them, just play, make a simple pass, catch the pass, put the ball in the net. It's not a difficult game. It's kind of like that Bull Durham shower scene. You catch the ball, you throw the ball. In lacrosse, you pick the ball up off the ground.
Well, let's go ahead and take a little bit of a deeper dive into this matchup. Of course, last year, North Greenville fell behind 5-0 in the contest, and in that contest, it ended up being a circumstance to where the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears would score 5 goals in about 21 minutes of action. The final 39 minutes of the game, they were only able to muster 4 goals, and it gave room for North Greenville to climb back into this matchup. From your perspective, how do you see Greg Paradine's club getting an opportunity to play a more consistent 4 quarters of action against these Crusaders?
I think they got to find the guy with a hot hand, and they got to go to the hot guy with a hot hand. Last year in this game was David Bell had 4 goals, and he should have a load of confidence playing against the Crusaders. So I would look for them to go to Bell, and then of course you've got Will Canada, who struggled a little bit last weekend. Bryce Reese, who struggled a little bit, and And then there was a couple of the freshmen, Voss and Mowry, who needed to it was their first collegiate game, and the difference between high school speed and college speed is the difference between driving on a dirt road and driving on 85.
There's no question about it. You know, Jamie, I want to ask you, you talk about David Bell and the great game that he had last year. That was because there were several players that were out in that position. As it relates to Greg Paradine's club, that last man up mentality, I guess, is going to be imperative today. They're going to need some depth as we get through this season. I would guess that Greg Paradine wants to see some of that depth show up this afternoon.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the grand scheme of things for the whole year, if we had won that game last weekend, Coach P probably doesn't have the attention of the players that he had this week in practice. Number 42 from last year, Eric Dickinson's not coming out of the locker room with the Bears this year. He's graduated. He's coaching. He's not going to go and put 5 goals up and you win. Instead of losing the game by 1, you win by 4. Also, Zach Badeau is not there to win 75% of the faceoffs. While the Bears won over 50% of the faceoff, almost 60% last week, they need to do a little bit better job in the faceoff game. So it's figuring out who that guy's going to be. The nice thing about Coach P is if you're a freshman or a redshirt senior or a grad student, if you're going to give the team the best opportunity to win, you're going to be on the field.
That was a look at the game this afternoon. Before we go to break, I want to thank all the good folks of Fry Medical for their support of the Bears during the course of this lacrosse season. As we go to break, let's go ahead and take a look at Noah Johnson's goal last year for the Bears. An opportunity for a goalie to get a goal doesn't happen all that often at all, but it was imperative in that 9-8 win.
Yeah, I was watching the game, and Noah got the ball. North Greenville went into a 10-man ride. Noah saw was free, had his hands free, saw that there was no one in the goal, and let it go from about 70 yards away. It bounced once. The defender misplayed it, and it went in the goal. And in a one-goal game, that was an important goal.
Jamie, I only wish I could be as accurate from 70 yards with my gap wedge as he was on that opportunity. Folks, when we come back, we'll take a brief timeout, and we'll come back with the starting lineups and get ready for a start at 1 o'clock between the Bears and the Crusaders here on the Bears Sports Network. We're going to be out before the anthem's over. Okay, back here at Moretz Stadium. It's the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears facing off against the North Greenville Crusaders. Let's go ahead and dive right into this afternoon's starting lineups. First for North Greenville, the defender this afternoon will be Will Udy. He'll be on the back line with Gabe Turner. Also on the back line, Dalton Wilkins. And then we'll have in the midfield Cam Webb. In the midfield, also Alex Brooks will be in the midfield. The long stick midfielder will be Colin Courtney. And then, of course, we'll have the face-off for Brady Hope for North Greenville University. And then the attackers will be Thomas Cesare with 44 goals last season. He'll be on the front line along with Hayden Moffitt. And then Garrison Story will be the goalkeeper for North Greenville. What we'll do is we'll step aside for just a second to hear the national anthem. We'll come back into the starting lineup for the Bears. We'll take care of a couple of other things as we'll listen over the PA system. So we'll go back to the Bears starting lineup this afternoon. In defense will be James Brugger for the Bears. He'll have alongside of him Victor Powell on the back line. Then Joey Masson will make up the back line for the Bears. Then in the midfield, we'll have Mitchell Linklater. And then we'll have Christian Starkey, the long stick midfielder. And then the face-off guy, John Paulus, will be in the face-off for the Bears. Then we'll have the attackers, Evan Voss, Joe Venazio. And then in goal, we'll have Noah Johnson this afternoon. And then Miles Moffitt. Miles Moffitt, part of our face-off here this afternoon. Jamie, you take a look at it. You've got one Moffitt for the North Greenville Crusaders. You've got another Moffitt for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. Both off to good starts this season, and one a phenomenal career so far for the Bears.
Yeah, Miles has been all-conference. Was All-American last year. Won the SAC lacrosse player, the SAC Man of the Year. He's just full of accolades, both in the classroom and on the lacrosse field. Just a great guy. He's also Eric's best friend. So it's cool to see him have the success that he's had. And it's going to be interesting to see how each Moffitt boy does playing against himself. I think it's probably the first time they've actually played in competition against each other. They'll be on opposite end of the fields, but I'm sure there'll be a little barking going back and forth.
Should be an interesting dynamic that the two will have with each other, and certainly bragging rights at the dinner table going to be up for grabs here this afternoon. Miles Moffitt, of course, last year, 49 goals, 29 assists, had a phenomenal season. Then you take a look at what happened on the other side for Hayden Moffitt. Hayden Moffitt, not a bad start for the season in the win against Young Harris last week. 4 goals and an assist to lead the way in that 12-3 win against Young Harris College.
Yeah, it's just super exciting to see a young guy having success like that. And it's good for him, and we wish him all the success in the world, but we're kind of rooting for number 12 in white today.
Well, and I would imagine that's the way it is for many of the partisans. We've got a pretty good number of folks that have made their way from the Tigerville area to come up this way. Jamie, I'm excited to see lacrosse action. It's been a while for me. I hope that you'll enjoy it with me this afternoon on what is an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Western Piedmont.
Yeah, we got a very senior officiating crew led by Danny Dolzema, and we had no issues with that piece of the game. They're great officials, and Bears win the ball off the faceoff.
So the Bears will begin their first possession of the afternoon, taking it behind the frame, working it around this afternoon for the Bears. You've got the Moffitt guy that we talked about earlier, Joe Venazio, working behind the frame. Now for the Bears. Working out on the left side.
It's Will Canada with the ball going behind to Voss.
Venazio here on the near side. Gets it to Torrin Eccleston. Eccleston, another phenomenal season last year. Now they'll work it back around behind the frame.
We're sitting at about 30 seconds in the shot clock.
We'll talk about the shot clock rule change here in just a little bit. Has a wrinkle to it this year that we haven't seen before, replicating a lot of what goes on in college basketball now. As that pass deflected away, it'll roll outside of the crease. No, it's inside the crease, and it'll turn it over to North Greenville.
We got LR in the crease. I think someone touched the goalie's stick while he was in the crease. That's a violation. It's just a simple violation. Turnover. That's North Greenville ball.
So, Jamie, let's go ahead and talk about the shot clock, the wrinkle in the rule changes. Of course, the 80-second possession clock still in effect, but there's a wrinkle to getting it into your attack area.
Yeah, you have 20 seconds to get it over the midfield line. So if the clock shows 60 and you're still in your defensive half of the field, you're going to turn the ball over. And then the big change this year was on resets in the offensive zone. You have a defensive loose ball foul. You have a shot that hits the goalie or hits the pipe. Or anything like that. The reset is no longer at 80 seconds. It's at 60 seconds. That was put in especially to keep the pace of play going in the fourth quarter, because teams who were up by 3-4 goals would tend to pull it out and use 80 seconds of shot clock, get a reset, and use another 80 seconds. Now with a 60-second reset, they got to go quicker.
It certainly does. Very similar to what you've seen now in college basketball, to where once the ball is brought into the front court, the shot clock will reset after a miss or a foul or a kick ball to 20 seconds as opposed to what was 30 at one time. The ball rolling out. It's going to go possession to the Bears. Of course, the Bears wearing the white uniforms today. North Greenville wearing their black and scarlet this afternoon.
That's a great, simple clear for LR. Mitch Linklater recognizing the defense that North Greenville's in, realized he had an attackman, just stepped over the midfield line. Super simple pass for Johnson to get it to him in the offensive zone, and the Bears get to play offense for the second time.
Miles Moffitt.
Oh, that's a heck of a shot by freshman Evan Voss.
Evan Voss takes the shot from a tight angle, goes top shelf over the shoulder of the keeper, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears.
And you'll have to excuse me. He's wearing the same number as Eric, 42, and he's got the same nickname as Eric had when he came here to LR. Eric's nickname was given his nickname by some upperclassmen as Kevin, and so if I call Evan Voss Kevin this afternoon, you'll know why. It's just that's what his nickname is.
A little inside lacrosse here between the bricks at Lenoir-Rhyne. It's North Greenville will try to advance it downfield. It's Brady Hope winning the faceoff for the Crusaders. Down a goal. Crusaders of North Greenville. Program started in 2015. This is a program that last year had a 500 record. Last week against Young Harris, won on opening day for the first time since 2018. The last time that happened was in February of 2018, a 22-5 win over Shorter.
Yep. And the interesting thing about that matchup last weekend is the North Greenville assistant, Jay Goldsmith, was the head coach at Young Harris for a season, and it kind of blew. It was a COVID year, and it kind of blew up actually before the COVID year, and they ended up shutting the program down even before COVID shut the season down.
Goldsmith, of course, the Lenoir-Rhyne alum, is on the sideline for the opposition this afternoon.
So he's intimately familiar with what LR does offensively and defensively, so that could be an advantage, or if Coach P tends to do something different, it might be a little bit of a disadvantage. Who knows?
The ball goes out of bounds.
Could be white ball. That's the case of the defender being closer to the ball where and when it goes out of bounds. Also, for the fans at home, the stick doesn't matter. It's the body part. So the reason they're sticking their stick out is they're extending their hand, and that counts as a body part.
Sure. So Lenoir-Rhyne will reset on the near side. Bryce Reese works it back behind the Moffitt. Now to Voss. Crashing forward.
Great save by the North Greenville goalie.
Eccleston denied on the shot, and now the Crusaders will try to work it down quickly. And the benefit, you talk about the 20 seconds, it's certainly not necessary to use the 20 seconds to get it into attack position. The quicker you get it down, the more you can set the offense.
Right, that's what Coach P wants our boys to get over the midfield line as quickly as possible and go. You're going to see a lot of shots from LR early in the shot clock. That's not something Coach P's never been the type to settle it in and make subs and work. If you have an opportunity in a mismatch, just go.
North Greenville trying to work it into a scoring posture. Down a goal here early. Matt Hayden had the ball. Now back over to Devin Napoli. The ball will deflect off the bricks on the south side of the stadium here. And they'll reset with 30 seconds remaining on the timer.
North Greenville being nice and patient on offense.
Napoli working back behind. Looking for Cesare. Cesare will fire, and he tucks it in on the near post. Gets it past the keeper, Noah Johnson, and it evens things up here with 9:25 remaining in the opening period.
Yep, that was great patient offense by North Greenville. Just a great individual play coming from behind, getting high enough that he had a good angle on the goal. A lot of goal to shoot at, and stuck it in on the near post. Johnson's going to be a little upset with him giving up the post a little bit early, allowing that ball to go in short side.
So we'll have our face-off 1-1 here in the early going.
Face-off violation on North Greenville is going to be LR ball. That's one for the half.
So it'll be Nate Ashley trying to work it into an attacking posture for the Bears. He'll shovel over to Bryce Reese. Reese works it forward and has an angle and goes low and beats the keeper to give the Bears the 2-1 lead quickly on the rebound.
Yep, that's what Greg wants to see. They went quickly. They didn't allow North Greenville to settle a little on defense, and good for Bryce Reese using the turf to get that ball low The book on him has been he likes to shoot high. They're going to start watching tape. If he starts to score low, that's going to give goalies something to think about when he comes across the top.
Well, and certainly, Jamie, you talk about that. When you're on the surface like this, you're able to use the turf almost as sort of a skip. I mean, you just allow it to slide low. It doesn't necessarily have the same bounce that it might on a natural surface.
Yep.
Now North Greenville will try to counter. It's the pass filtered in, and just like that, North Greenville responds. As North Greenville gets the goal. The goal for Nicholas Kramer. I should say not Nicholas Kramer, my apologies. Hayden Moffitt gets the goal. And we're even at 2 apiece. Hayden Moffitt, 4 goals last week, gets the equalizer. We're tied at 2.
Yeah, good quick offense by North Greenville. Had the LR defense on a carousel, and Moffitt was wide open on the back pipe.
So the Bears able to get a goal quickly from Reese.
It's another violation. That's 2 on North Greenville. 1 more, and they'll go down 1 man for 30 seconds for a face-off violation.
So now the Bears look to work it forward.
That's not actually the most advisable shot, but we did a good job. Venazio did a great job picking up the ball. I apologize to all the Venazio fans out there. I identified him as from Long Island last week. He's actually from Cherry Hills, New Jersey. My most sincere apologies for putting you as a Long Island guy.
So North Greenville now is trying to work it forward off the turnover.
It's going to be a flag. Is it going to be a flag? No, it's not going to be a flag.
Wilkins resets it back.
We'll
have a stoppage of play. Looks like we've got a timeout taken by North Greenville with 8:15 remaining in the first period. It's been a fast start for both clubs offensively. 2-2. We'll be back in just a moment on the Bear Sports Network.
Play hard if you use your feet to chase fitness goals. If you stand all day at work. Introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Back here at Moretz Stadium, a 2-2 game here in the first period. Not quite halfway through. A lot of offense early. Folks, Southside Power and Fitness provides an exclusive discount of almost 50% off for LR faculty, staff, and students. Experience what Southside has to offer at southsidepf.com. It's a limited time offer, but it is the only limit is for you to take advantage of the offer. That's southsidepf.com. Bring back in Jamie Dickinson. Jamie, here in the first 6 minutes plus or I should say 5 minutes plus of this contest, it has been very good offensively, and if this is going to be the pace that we see today, it is going to be a real shootout here in Hickory.
And that's Bears lacrosse, so that plays to the Bears' hands. The Bears want to play fast. They want to go hard. They want a goal total over 25. This is exactly what the Bears want, and the fact we have a goal from Voss and Bryce Reese, real positive.
Well, and certainly, Jamie, you look at this situation, not to say that Young Harris is necessarily in the same company as Lenoir-Rhyne, but when you look at North Greenville taking 48 shots last week, they seem to like it kind of quick too.
Yeah, and I think that was more of a case. Yep, that's going to be a hold. Absolutely. But everything was good until the stick got up onto the player's arm and they lifted his arm above his glove. That's going to be a hold on LR. Going to be down. Victor Powell goes to the box of shame for 30 seconds for a hold.
So North Greenville will go up a man with 7:48 remaining here in the first period. A 2-2 contest on an absolutely gorgeous day. Temperatures getting into the upper 60s here in Hickory. You get down into the Tigerville area, they're going to be somewhere in the low 70s in many locales. So just a gorgeous day before perhaps inclement weather rolls in tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get snow in the high country tomorrow morning.
I think they're definitely going to get it. It's North Greenville trying to work it around a tight perimeter.
Yeah, that's an outside shot that Noah Johnson likes to see all the time. He's going to make that save 9 times out of 10. Nice clear to Liam McGrath.
The Bears now work at 4.
Bears have killed the man-up opportunity for North Greenville. Now we're playing 6-on-6.
Now Moffitt goes to Voss. Voss navigates the playing surface.
There's a flag down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got North Greenville has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, North Greenville's got 7. They're offsides. They're allowed to continue to play. LR is going to take advantage of this situation, try to get a goal, but because they got a basically playing with house money because if the ball goes out of bounds or is killed, they're going to be man up for 30 seconds.
So the Bears work it back out at the top. And effectively, you talk about the house money, Jamie. 20 seconds on the possession clock really doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want to in this situation, knowing they're going to get it back. And, well, there's your answer.
That's a great offense by Bryce Reese and Torrin Eccleston. Nice to see an assist from Bryce. And a great shot by Torrin. Dropped it low and went 5-hole.
Eccleston went with the low, tight angle on the shot, giving the Bears an opportunity to take the 3-2 lead. The flag will get picked up, and we'll go back to the face-off at midfield as the Bears looking very solid in this first quarter. Last week, they had moments to where they looked solid, just weren't able to finish in the first period.
Absolutely. North Greenville sitting on 2 face-off violations, and that's 3. That's going to be a flag. LR is going to go up for a man.
Now, Jamie, I'll ask you this. As far as a face-off infraction is concerned, what typically is the face-off person for Lenoir-Rhyne doing that's causing the North Greenville guy to flinch?
It's not so much what the LR guy is doing. It's what the North Greenville guy is trying to guess or jump the whistle and try to get an advantage. There must be something that tells him that the LR guy is going to win more of the face-off, so he's trying to gain an advantage. And from here, for the rest of this quarter and the entire second quarter, North Greenville, every time they violate on the face-off, is going to go down 30 seconds. That's a huge tactical advantage because now he has to absolutely wait for the whistle before he goes. A great offense by the Bears.
And the hesitation is going to create a massive issue for North Greenville. And this is where runs get started of 4 and 5 goals in succession.
Yep, we saw that last year with Zach Badeau because he was so. That's a great look. And Aiden Mowry gets his first career goal.
Aiden Mowry just snuck over to the right side of the crease, was able to get an easy pass, and then it was 1v1 with the keeper, and Mowry able to take advantage. It's a 2-goal lead for the Bears.
Yeah, Mowry is going to be a problem for people in that he is short of stature but big of heart. And he's going to get lost in defenses, especially when a defense is playing zone. He just found a soft spot, got open, showed his stick to Voss. Voss put it right in his stick, and he scored. That's a great offense for both guys.
Back-to-back goals for Eccleston and Mowry have given the Bears a 2-goal advantage.
And we got to pick up a ground ball. Now everybody's released because the ball is possessed.
Now North Greenville will try to counter as they get into their offensive attack.
On that face-off, everybody had to stay behind the 30-yard lines until the ball is either picked up, so the defender is able with his 6-foot pole to reach across, possess the ball, and then he's released so he can go run upfield.
Nearing the 5-minute mark remaining here in this first period on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon. The shot taken, misses wide. It'll stay with North Greenville.
Yep,
47 seconds on the possession timer.
And no shot clock reset. North Greenville being really patient here offensively. I think that's I don't think they saw anything like the LR defense against Young Harris last weekend, excuse me.
Hayden losing his footing, trying to regain possession. The ball's still working, and it's going to be possession.
That's going to be a hold. Yep, that's absolutely correct call. The LR player held the North Greenville player with a portion of his stick between his hands, and his hands were wider than shoulder width apart. That's absolutely the correct call, and it's a shot clock reset.
The infraction will take it back to 60, so now North Greenville, with not a lot of room to have to cover, will have an opportunity to take the shot. It's smothered by Johnson.
Great outlet to Linklater, and let's see if he turns and goes or throws it. He throws it. Good
now
look.
The Bears have numbers.
Keep it moving, boys. Oh, great save by the North Greenville keeper.
And it's gathered back in by the goal minder, Garrison Story.
That's a great save by Story. That's a super hard save. You got a guy running down the field, full tilt with a 6-foot pole. The goalie has no idea where the ball is going because most of the time when a pole shoots, he has no idea where the ball is going.
Shot was low, kick saved by Story. He was able to get the ricochet as it went airborne. Yeah, now North Greenville will try to set the offense.
Nice job by North Greenville when the ball was in the air, check sticks to allow the goalie to possess the ball.
Now at the top, North Greenville have Kyle Bowman. Now they'll work it around back behind. Alex Brooks here on the near side. Now back to the top for Cesare. Nolan drop. Working on the far side. Shot was blocked on the way toward the frame, and now the Bears have it.
Great ground ball. Great defense and ground ball by Farrell. Dylan Stape with the ball, running into a little bit of a double team. Let's see if he can get through it. And we got a hold. That's going to be a hold.
And now the Bears working effectively with a free play. And now Venazio has a run.
Great selfless team play by the Bears. That's a great job moving the ball along and getting it to the open guy.
Venazio was able to get into the channel on the near side, found Voss crashing down the frame, was able to hit him, and Voss converted the shot from point-blank range.
And we got a timeout, North Greenville.
2:38 remaining here in the opening period. The Bears have rattled off 3 straight. It's a 5-2 lead. We'll be back on the Bears Sports Network.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
5-2 lead for the Bears here at Moretz Stadium, 2:38 remaining in the first period. Folks, if you want official LR app, make sure to visit Custom Design Group in person or online at lrwear.com. Custom Design Group is the official apparel provider of LR Athletics. Here along with my partner, Jamie Dickinson, I'm Brian Rushing. Jamie, offense looking very good for this club. Unselfish, great movement of the ball. Catching North Greenville off balance defensively. If you're Greg Paradine, you got to feel good about what we've seen so far in not quite 13 minutes of action.
Yeah, and the passes are crisp. They're right in hit the teammate's stick. When the pass is crisp, they're not being dropped. It's just a whole different team than it was last Sunday when we played the number 8 team in the nation, UIndy. If we play this way against UIndy, that game's going to be a different outcome. We got people sharing the ball. We got people making unselfish plays, people making hustle plays, picking up ground balls. It's just great to see.
An opportunity for the Bears to show their teeth today. It's looking good for them so far here in this first period of action. And now the Bears with possession. As Voss will have it. Linklater. Now working it forward at the top. Working around behind the frame to Moffitt. Now Tommy Aguilar.
Tommy needs to get a little bit of a role this year. He needs to just score a couple goals, make a couple plays, get a little bit of confidence, and we'll see great things out of him this year.
Aguilar with it again. Now wraps it around to the front. To Liam McGrath. McGrath at the top with Aguilar. Nearing the 30-second mark on the possession timer.
Bears are in a 1-4-1 here.
Aguilar pops back out, now goes to Voss behind frame. Pump fake on the shot, took a ricochet over the frame. It'll stay with the Bears with 9 seconds on the timer.
Yep, good play by McGrath to throw the ball in the corner. Shot clock violation. Good job by the North Greenville defense holding the Bears without only one real scoring opportunity. Now they get to try and clear.
So the Crusaders with possession off the defensive stand, looking to get back into this match a little bit. They've gone a little dry offensively, and they would love to get a goal as we're inside a minute remaining in the opening period.
Almost threw that ball away.
Good catch there by Steven Santini. Now they'll work it behind the frame. And they can consume the remainder of this first period if they opt to. Cesare loses the handle, gains it back. And North Greenville will spin and fire.
Nice
job.
Shot
taken by Steven Santini.
Nice
Gets it to 5-3.
Nice job by the North Greenville media to get out of a double team and move the ball to an open guy. A shot from about 10 yards on the wing, and a good shot. Johnson, I bet he wished he had that one back.
So the run of 3 consecutive goals by the Bears is stopped by the goal from Santini, making it 5-3. So we'll have what you might expect to be the final face-off of the period. Lenoir-Rhyne will now try to move it forward.
Bears are going to go hard on this one.
It's Linklater. Inside 10 seconds remaining. Now to Voss. Voss with the spin move, misses short side with it. It'll stay with the Bears.
3 seconds. This is a pass and a shot.
Moffitt lost the handle on it. And we've gotten through one period of play. A 5-3 lead for the Bears. We'll be back in just a moment on the Bears Sports Network.
Break great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Back here at Moretz Stadium, Brian Rushing here along with Jamie Dickinson and our director Kennedy Connor this afternoon. Through 15 minutes of action, the Bears have the 5-3 lead, folks. Carolina West Wireless, fastest speeds, national 4G LTE coverage, and a hometown price. What more can you ask for? Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Bears. Jamie, you've got some scores of interest from around the area. Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, we got some SAC and some Conference Carolina scores. We got Limestone up 14-7 on St. Leo. Mars Hills is putting it on shorter, 19-1. Wingate and Mercyhurst are tied 5-5. And LR's next two opponents, Belmont Abbey and Florida Tech, are tied at 2 in the second quarter.
So those scores of interest get us into our second period of play. We'll flip sides, and now North Greenville will try to work it forward. Down 2 goals. Here's we start the second period of play.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in that Florida Tech Belmont Abbey game. Florida Tech lost a squeaker by 1 to Rollins, and Belmont Abbey got absolutely boat raced by Limestone last weekend. It's interesting to see what happens to those two teams in that game. playing the Bears. Florida Tech plays the Bears on Monday, and next weekend the Bears go to Belmont Abbey. Nice save by Johnson. Deflected.
It'll stay with North Greenville. Of course, North Greenville, like Belmont Abbey, members of Conference Carolinas. And then, of course, Limestone at one time was a member of Conference Carolinas, and we know their exploits in the Division II landscape. They were the front runner as far as regional area clubs that really, really shined on the national stage. Many of the clubs are beginning to catch up to Limestone, but they were the original article.
Yeah, Limestone was the gold standard for Southern D2 lacrosse. Great defensive play. You just need to pick up a ground ball now. Ball pops out, and it's going to be Bears ball. Well, anyway, Limestone was just the absolute gold standard. And in 2018, the Bears went down to Gaffney and actually were the first Southern team to beat them on their home field in like ever. And that was a sign that there was going to be some competition for Limestone to be the number one team in the South. LR went to the national semifinal that year, and they've had a coaching change down there, and J.B. Clark is now at Tampa, and so they've got some new coach. And so it's just interesting to see what Limestone does this year.
Well, and as you mentioned, Jamie, they were the gold standard. But you look at Greg Paradine's club here in Hickory, 2 wins against number one nationally ranked clubs, both of them against the Limestone Saints. And as you might imagine, this Bears program is starting to have the look of what we were seeing for such a long time out of Limestone.
That's a heck of a save by the North Greenville goalie. Just a great athletic save. And that's a great ride by the Bears to get the ball back. Bryce Reeves the ground ball, and I bet the Bears go here.
Has Moffitt to his left, and now Moffitt's going to be able to tuck it inside the post. Goes high with it, gets the goal, and the Bears have a 6-3 advantage.
And that's LR lacrosse. Work hard on a ride, create a ground ball, a midi picks it up, the ball gets moved 3 times, and the ball's in the back of the net. It's that simple. From the time the turnover was created, the ball was back in the net. It had to be, 5 seconds?
It was not long at all. Reese had the ball on the slot, worked it back to the middle, knowing that Moffitt was just to his left, and actually slowed down to create some space for Moffitt so that he would be able to shoot somewhat unimpeded, was able to do so, and he cashed it home.
Heads-up play by Reese, not dragging his defender to Moffitt being the most dangerous guy in the field because he was 2 passes away. We got just a mess of a ground ball. No one's released yet. Someone's got to pick it up. Good job by, who was that?
The Bears will have possession. Liam Farrell will work it forward to Voss, now to Moffitt. And the pace of play really is, when you've got a defense that is on their heels virtually the entirety of the contest, it's got to be really stressful for the defensive club, not just physically but mentally.
Yeah, it becomes a mental game. LR did that in spades last year when they played Wingate. They had their defense just incredibly frustrated because we just kept coming after them and after them and after them and after them. And from hearing, that's a little bit of a force of a shot with Aguilar. Needs to go and put that in a different spot. Yep, we got goaltender interference. It's going to be a free clear. That's why the pass was so errant. It's going to be a fresh 80 seconds on the shot clock reset. North Greenville in the ball on the offensive side.
Of course, you talk about the Wingate Club, 3 matchups last year between the Bears and the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs actually won the regular season contest, and then it was the Bears getting the last 2.
Yeah, absolutely. That's become the one of the top. That is the top rivalry in the SAC, and probably one of the top rivalries in the Southeast.
And it really is something to see in the Carolinas. You've got programs of this nature. The level of play has elevated significantly in the last decade.
Absolutely, 100%. And kids from up north who are that low-level D1 caliber player, maybe a mid-level D1 caliber player, they're going to go to a team that's going to struggle to make conference tournaments and that sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, come down here to the Carolinas. You can play for Wingate or LR or Belmont. Ooh, great job by 43.
The shot was taken by Steven Santini. That's his second goal of the contest consecutively for North Greenville. And that's a 6-4 ball game with 10:40 remaining in the half.
So you can come, kids from Baltimore and upstate New York and Long Island can come down south and be on one of these top D2 teams here in the Carolinas and have an opportunity to play for a national championship.
And not only that, Jamie,
It's
but
70 degrees.
They're not going to play in the upper 60s on February the 12th.
That is 100% true. I think the weather reported. No, that was the white went early, guys. Calm down over there to our left. That was a white face-off violation, not one on black.
So that was the first of the game so far for the Bears. Of course, North Greenville had some early missteps on the face-offs, and now they'll incur penalties for the remainder of the half.
Yep, LR sitting on one. Yeah, they have 2 more violations, and then they'll be in the, for lack of a better term, the penalty.
It's Cam Webb, a young man out of Charlotte, North Carolina's Cox Mill High School.
Yep, great slide to keep him from getting his hands free and getting a shot from about 15 yards.
Shot taken, smothered by the Bears.
Yeah,
I believe that was Nate Ashley that got the deflection.
That never got to the goalie, so there's no shot clock reset. Great save. And Linklater's going to go, and he is one of the fastest kids in D2, so we're going to see what we do here. Throws it early.
Voss off balance, goes to Moffitt. And the Bears will use their secondary break. The shot taken, deflected away.
Now we need to pick up a ball. Who's going to pick it up?
Moffitt's got the inside track, and he'll track it down inside 60 seconds remaining on the timer.
Yep, we actually, that was saved by the goalie, so the shot clock was going to reset to 80 if North Greenville picked it up and 60 if LR picked it up. They hold the shot clock reset on a shot like that until possession.
So Garrison Story off the defensive stop, hoping for a reprieve, but given none as the Bears will try to continue their act on the offensive end.
Bowery was just a little bit ahead of himself, tried to go before the ball got there. Needs to be a little bit more patient, just catch it and then go.
Voss behind the frame.
Voss has got a shorty behind. He's telling everybody to get out of the way so he can go. That's an amazing save by the North Greenville goalie. Oh, my goodness. He just absolutely sacrificed his body, got his stick on the ball. That's a great save, although now we got a good ride by LR. It's going to turn it back over to White.
So the Bears will have possession, but you take a look at what happened there on the save by Garrison Story. He really had only one play to make, and he guessed right on Moffitt, who was at point-blank range.
Yeah, he threw his stick out there, and Moffitt maybe should have bounced it. That's typically what you're taught in rec ball is when a goal's open, bounce the ball. But all credit to the North Greenville goalie for making just a circus save.
Reese at the top. Now they'll work it near side. The shot wide left. Voss will get the restart for the Bears as we near the 8-minute mark remaining here in the first half of action. Reese with it. Voss to Kanata. .30 left on the timer. Kanata with an angle.
Oh, great shot by Will Kanata. Just snuck it inside the right post.
And there really wasn't a lot of wind-up there. It really was more of a wrist shot where he basically just kind of got a quick flick to it and was able to beat Story, making it a 7-4 contest.
Yeah, Will Kanata is not afraid to shoot the ball, and that's a great shot to not wind up and expose your stick to a trail check by the defender. Just kept it by his ear. Can't check him there because you're probably going to hit him in the head and draw a slash penalty. Just flicked it inside the right post.
So the Bears extend their lead back to 3 goals. They've had 3-goal leads for much of this contest. A 3-goal run gave them a 5-2 advantage, and now they've alternated goals with the Crusaders.
A little bit unfortunate there. We picked up the ball and then had it checked out of our face-off guy's stick and turned the ball over to North Greenville.
It'll now be Cesare. Cesare last year, 44 goals, 20 assists. The Crusaders will work it up top.
And we're under 60 in the shot clock, which triggers the over and back rule. For those who are watching, just exactly the same as over and back in basketball. Great save by Johnson.
Johnson comes away with the save. And Johnson, to have the touch, to be able to have a offensive player run out and catch him on stride, that's a next level skill for a keeper.
Yeah, that's I mean, and that's one of the real strengths is he makes a save, and we are looking to go the other way offenses. There's no settle. You got three guys running for the midfield line. He's going to pick one and drop it in the breadbasket, so to speak, and it's just going to be. And it allows LR to create a lot of fast break, odd man opportunities.
It's McGrath. Works it back behind to Venazio. Moffitt. Moffitt to Voss.
Voss needs to shoot that ball. Coach P they're going to look at tape. They're going to look at tape tomorrow, and Voss 1,000% needs to catch that and shoot it. We got a conduct foul on the white bench. Said something about the push, and obviously, turned the ball over to North Greenville. Unfortunate because it was about to go back to the Bears.
Aguilar was contesting down in the corner, but the conduct infraction on the LR bench now gives the Crusaders an opportunity to cut the lead. So we're nearing the 5-minute mark remaining here in this first half.
Yeah, and I've reffed a number of games with Danny Dulzema. If it's a conduct foul, it's pretty rest assured it's pretty much a conduct foul. It's a tip. Oh, great play by Mitch Linklater. Get his stick in the lane.
So Linklater with the deflection, now trying to work it forward. Voss can't contain it, and it'll be picked up by North Greenville. And now they're putting a lot of pressure back behind the North Greenville frame.
Yeah, that's a mess.
And it'll be possession to the Bears.
Yep.
North Greenville did a good job defensively, but had no recourse for where to go with it, kept backtracking, and ultimately lost possession.
And the North Greenville defender who got absolutely mauled by three white Bears, the three white LR Bears, is now down. I think he probably got whacked a few times, and we're going to take an injury timeout here for a sec.
What we'll do is we'll take a second. I'll go ahead and talk about Oz Jewelers for just a moment. Oz Jewelers is your hometown jewelry store of 38 years. That's a long time in the Hickory area. Oz and his team proudly serve the community with beautiful pieces of every occasion, from birthdays, proposals, and just because I love you gifts, because after all, Monday is Valentine's Day. Stop by today, like us on Facebook for exclusive deals and auctions every Wednesday. Special thanks to Oz Jewelers.
Wait, Monday's Valentine's Day?
You're obviously, Jamie, in the same boat that I am because I'm taking care of that tonight.
Ruh-roh.
Exactly, Raggy.
Honey, I'll try to do my best.
Well,
I'll do better next year, yes.
Jamie, I've got a bit of an out because Monday I'll be transitioning over to Virginia, so I'm at least going to be able to create some distance.
There you go.
So if I'm in the doghouse, it's from 4 hours away.
And it's plausible deniability.
Yes, exactly. It's not Valentine's Day in Virginia, some sort of new state law.
Exactly.
Moffitt has it with Voss on the near side. Inside 5 minutes remaining in the first half, a 7-4 lead for the Bears. And Jamie, at this juncture, I mean, given the fact that you, don't want North Greenville to go on a scoring binge by any stretch of the imagination, you can be crisp but patient in a circumstance like this, especially with 50 on the possession timer.
Yeah, North Greenville is doing a good job defensively. LR is going to take their advantage. If they have the ability to go early in an offensive possession and early in a shot clock, they're going to go. But after that settles, they're going to play their half-field offense because they're going to have to do that later in the year. Oh, that's off of White. It's off of Bryce Reese's stick. It's going to be a North Greenville ball. Reese hung his stick a little bit, exposing it to a check. Can't do that at this level. And ball came on the carpet and got out of bounds off of his stick when he tried to scoop it up.
So North Greenville Would love a goal-scoring opportunity here to build some momentum toward the locker room, but just to cut down the lead a little bit, down by 3 as they've been for much of the second period.
Yeah, the Bears' defense has been playing absolutely superbly. Now, that's going to be the strength of this team all year until the guys on the offensive half of the field sort it out and get comfortable with all their new pieces and people playing in different positions.
Accessory.
Great play. Now we got to pick it up.
Ball along the ground gathered by the Bears.
Gathered by James Ruger. He has just fit into the LR defense just like he's been here for 4 years. It's really great to see a transfer student come in from Coker and just become part of the Bear family and do a great job.
Linklater fires and beats the keeper. Garrison Story to make it 8-4 in favor of Lenoir-Rhyne.
And that's what I'm talking about early offense. Linklater had an alley to go to the goal. Coach P wants him to take that opportunity. No one came to him. He got to 7 or 8 yards and made a good shot, low. I think it may have gone between the legs. And that's the early offense that the Bears are known for. Now, if someone jumped out at him, he would have circled back around and they would have started to work their set half-field offense.
Well, and the reality is, Jamie, with the transition opportunity that started there for the Bears, it created a significant opportunity, and it's now going to be perpetuated even greater by the fact that they're going to be a man up in this circumstance inside 3 minutes remaining in the half.
Yeah, that was another face-off violation. I think that one was the rule in college is when they set the ball down, they want you to go down correctly, and I won't bore everybody with the parameters of going down correctly. And they've been instructed if one guy goes down correctly and the other guy goes down incorrectly, it's an immediate face-off violation turnover. And unfortunately for the guys in black, they're sitting on 3, and they're down another 30 seconds.
Well, Jamie, and the impetus for that is to not create a competitive advantage for the guy that does not approach the face-off correctly.
Yep, and that rule is the college face-off rules are basically transitioning to that got tipped on the way in, didn't get to the goalie. That's coming to high school this year, and it's actually going to make the high school game a lot better.
And the Bears immediately
get
the goal, and they stretch the lead out to 5.
Who was that on the goal?
That was Torrin Eccleston.
Was it Torrin or was it Voss? I can't quite see.
Well, I thought it was Eccleston who slotted over. I saw a 19 was able to take it on the left side of his body. Voss got the assist on the play according to our official scorer, Jeremy Zalaka.
Jeremy might be a little slow today. He just returned from a ski week in Utah, and some of the pictures made me feel incredibly jealous.
Yeah, but Zalaka is a bit of a world traveler.
He is.
It kind of goes that way. For those of you that may follow social media, Jay-Z the SID.
Jay-Z the SID, who had the best Twitter. We need to get Will Kanata a goal here.
Venazio back behind the frame to Voss.
They got the defender hung. So now the Bears are going to cut up top looking for an option until the North Greenville keeper goes and presses. Yep, there we go.
Voss.
Reset on the shot clock.
Went down to a knee. Looked like he was grabbing his throat. Moffitt fires, misses wide right.
That's one of the things that Miles worked on a lot last year was his outside shot. Up to that point in time, he'd been known as inside finisher. He now has the ability to really score the ball from 8, 10, 12 yards. I'll skip it. Oh.
Moffitt.
Great save by the North Greenville goalie. I'm not sure how he must have had eyes in the back of the head to see that one. But great feed from X and great shot by Moffitt. Just a better save.
Story comes away with it for the Crusaders, and now they'll try to see if they can muster some sort of offense before we get to the intermission. They'll be able to work it to zeros if they choose. And they desperately need a goal to go into the locker room. The last 5 to 6 minutes of game action have been all Bears. Shot taken, and that's just what the doctor ordered for the Crusaders. That was Steven Santini, who's got 3 consecutive goals now for North Greenville.
Yep, and what the Bears need to do here is push it out the front, go get the ground ball. They can very easily win a faceoff and get a shot in 5.5 seconds.
So we'll see if their mettle is tested here in the final 5.5 seconds of the period. Still a 10-5 lead for Lenoir-Rhyne. And that'll take us to zeros. We have played 30 minutes in Hickory. And the Bears have a 10-5 lead, and we come back. It's halftime here at Moretz Stadium on the Bears Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
If you play hard, If you use your feet to chase fitness goals. If you stand all day at work. Introducing True Energy infrared technology socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
This once-in-a-generation project will give student athletes an advantage and position Lenoir-Rhyne as a leader in academics and athletics.
Back here between the bricks and Hickory, a 10-5 lead for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears after one half of action. Folks, if you're ready for a nicer, newer ride, Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac is always here to help by providing family-friendly customer care since 1967. Visit them in person at one of their 2 convenient locations in Hickory and Morganton, or start your search online at everettchevy.com today. Brian Rushing here along with Jamie Dickinson. Jamie, talk about riding The Bears have been riding the strength of a very potent offense here in this first half of action. Your thoughts initially?
Yeah, absolutely. The Bears look like Bears. The ball is moving crisply. They're throwing the pass. They're being unselfish. The ball is moving to guy 2 or 3 guys away, and they're creating really wide open looks on the backside. And that just was not in evidence last weekend against UIndy. It's back now, and we've got freshmen contributing, et cetera. And it's just everything seems to be coming and meshing in place, which is great to see.
Quickly for Greg Paradine's club in the second half, what are some of the keys that he fixated on with this club at the intermission that they can look to in the second half?
They just need to keep going. Just as I like to say, when the Bears are playing well, it's all gas, no brakes.
Okay.
And just when you have a chance to go early and get the ball in the back of the net, because that's what creates runs. And with the way our goalie is playing and the way our defense is playing, the offenses now can play a little bit freer and maybe create more opportunities. And also, as the offense starts to click, then the defense gets to play a little freer because they know the offense is going to score a few more goals, so they can be a little bit more aggressive on a double team or a slide and create more turnovers, and it just kind of works hand in glove.
Corey Struss on the other side of the ledger saw his club kind of lose a little momentum late in the first period and never had a chance to really gain it back. If you're Corey Struss, what are you keying in on your team?
You got to pick the ball up off the ground. I think if you look at the stats, LR is significantly winning the ground ball battle, and you gotta not violate at the faceoff. That's a big thing. That just created some instant offense for the Bears. And maybe the Bears didn't score immediately off that faceoff violation, but it allows them to have 80 seconds of possession, and then maybe they get a shot clock weekend and they have another 60. North Greenville hadn't had the ball a lot.
That's the thoughts that we have on the first half of play. We'll see what happens in the second half of action. Folks, donate it. The new bass boat you see sitting across the way for the new LR fishing team. It's somewhere around here, I imagine. As you see, a lot of construction going on. All of this is supposed to be ready for the upcoming football season. And, folks, when it happens, it is going to be significant and it is going to be awesome, affecting everything here between the bricks. So we're just about ready for the second half of action. And the violation will give possession to North Greenville. So a 10-5 advantage for the Bears as the Partisans make their way back to Moretz Stadium for the second half of play. The Bears looking for their first win on the season. The Crusaders looking to go 2-0 for this very relatively young program, just getting the program started in 2015. You see Steven Santini trying to work at the top now with an angle. Goes back behind the frame to Alex Brooks. Santini had 3 goals in the second period for North Greenville. He was the offense for this club, and they get started quickly as the first goal of the half is scored by Hayden Moffitt, making it a 10-6 score.
Nice job by North Greenville running some offense. Moffitt just popped out into an open spot, collected the ball, turned and shot. Great technical finish by the young guy.
So Moffitt, Conference Carolinas Player of the Week last week with 4 goals and an assist, trims the lead to 4. And Jamie, one thing to consider here is that much of this second period before the run by the Bears at the end of the period, it stayed at around a 2-3 goal advantage for Lenoir-Rhyne. If North Greenville can get a good run of 2 to 3 goals in succession, they really have mitigated the run by the Bears that took over in the latter portions of the second period.
Absolutely. That's exactly what North Greenville needs to do is get possession, run a little offense, gain a little confidence, cut into this lead, and then sort of the script will flip a little bit.
Well, and speaking of that script flipping, we talked about it in the pregame. This is a Bears club that had a 5-0 lead in Tigerville and did North Greenville to get it down to a 1-goal differential.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Nice job by number 9?
Yeah, that was Thomas Sassery. Sassery makes it now 10-7, and just like that, the Crusaders go back-to-back within the course of a minute and 28 seconds, and we're back to a 3-goal differential.
Yep, it's as I say, momentum is a fickle mistress, and we need to get some offense and possess the ball a little bit, and get the field tilted back the Bears' way.
So the game within the game has gone very early in favor of the Crusaders as they make some adjustments coming out of the break and already have 2 goals to their credit. It's Moffitt working on the far side for the Bears, and the possession will go back to North Greenville. So now North Greenville, with 2 goals already in hand in the period, trimming the lead down to 10-7. And we'll see what North Greenville's able to do with this possession, trying to catch the Bears, ironically enough, on their heels a little bit to open up the second half of play. It'll be Hayden working at the top with Santini. Hayden looking for Cesare. Cesare fires from deep and off balance. Shot sailed wide, but possession will stay with North Greenville. So Brooks will have it for North Greenville.
Sorry, I had to step away a bit. I had to deal with the fried chicken that's coming for the post-game tailgate. And we don't want the boys not to have their fried chicken. They get hangry.
So North Greenville trying to make it 3 consecutive goals to open up the third period. And if they do, I would imagine the home partisans here may get a little antsy.
Great job by Brugger to deflect that ball, and now we get the ball on the ground, and LR picks it up. Dylan Stape is going up the field, just being an athlete. Needs to just make a simple play.
The ball was loose there momentarily, but they get it right back, and now the Bears can go on offense.
That was not the wisest decision on the North Greenville attackman to stand in front of Stape running up the field with the ball. That's that irresistible force coming at you.
Jamie, I think that's one of the things that a lot of folks in this region are beginning to really see about the game of lacrosse. As you see it, it's got the speed of basketball. It's got some of the physicality of football, and then it's got the hand-eye coordination of baseball. If you follow any of those sports, there's no reason not to really get into lacrosse.
Yeah, and also it's got the pace of play of hockey. I think hockey is probably one of the closest comparisons. Is that's going to be a great save by the North Greenville goalie, and they were closer to the ball when and where it went out of bounds. So hockey is, and also you can play the behind the goal in hockey. You can play behind the goal in lacrosse, so it adds that little wrinkle to the offense. So, it's got the field size of soccer, and the set stuff of basketball, and then the rhythm of hockey.
So North Greenville with another opportunity, a little more than 4 minutes in to this third period of play. A 10-7 lead for the Bears. The Bears at one time had a goal differential up to 6, but it's been cut in half in short order by the Crusaders. It's the shot taken, and that goes across the goal line. So forcing the issue there was Nolan drop, and Nolan was able to drop it past the keeper, and it's now a 10-8 ball game. 4 straight rattled off by North Greenville. And Jamie, we're seemingly right back where we were last year in Tigerville.
Yeah, Bears need to just they continue to need to do what they do, but just weather the storm, play Bear lacrosse, play Bear offense, and keep going.
Nolan dropped there with the goal, the senior out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Now the Bears with possession. Reese working at near side where the Partisans are situated. Voss back around to Moffitt on the far side. They'll set the offense.
Looking out a run downhill. Just go, son.
Canada trying to find an angle. Now Reese. Reese misses wide left.
Shot clock reset. Give the Bears another 60-second possession.
So Voss will get it started for the Bears. Kanata splits a couple defenders, loses the handle, and that's gathered back up by North Greenville.
Just exposed his stick a little bit, and the North Greenville defender got just a little tap on his stick, causing the ball to come out. Great job by North Greenville on the defensive end. Now the Bears have to ride and get the ball back.
Garrison Story building a little momentum on his own right in the crease. As we'll have the whistle blow. Possession.
Yep, that was a loose ball push. That was a loose ball push because the ball was in the air, even though it wasn't in his stick. It may have been just about coming into his stick. He did not have. It's kind of like football. It's that he didn't make a football move, didn't make a lacrosse move the ball. So that's still a loose ball. That's why there was not a penalty. It's going to be North Greenville ball, even up.
Cam Webb getting some attention here on the near side in a 10-8 contest. North Greenville found themselves behind 10-4 going into the final minute of the second period of play. They were able to scratch across a goal to get it to 10-5, but they've rattled off 3 in succession here in the second half and have made this a brand new contest. As Webb will walk off on his own power to the North Greenville bench. That'll give us an opportunity to say hello to Pepsi of Hickory, a locally owned and operated company since 1925. Thank you for filling your coolers with Pepsi this fall and even this winter. And thank you for allowing us to serve you all these years. Pepsi, born in the Carolinas, raised in Hickory.
So once we get everything settled up, it's going to be North Greenville ball here at the 45-yard line on the near side. They'll have 80 seconds of shot clock to work with.
North Greenville, Santini will make a move back behind the frame to Brooks. Brooks will reset it to Cesare. Cesare with an angle, shoots it high.
Just a touch high, didn't touch the goal or the goalie or Johnson's stick, so we're going to stay at just the regular first shot clock counting down.
Which stands at 50 seconds on the possession timer. Cesare fires from a side position, shoots it high. And it'll stay with North Greenville.
Officials repositioning the North Greenville player for the – oh, great check. Unfortunately, it bounces to a North Greenville stick.
Napoli working at the top with Cesare.
Great to see number 21, Kyle Mason, out there on the field. Oh, that's an absolute dime.
The Bears aren't able to complete the pass, and North Greenville gets it right back. So momentum has shifted definitively in favor of the Crusaders here. The Bears still own a 2-goal advantage with 8 minutes remaining in the third period of play.
So we got Kyle Mason, James Bruger, and Joey Masson on defense, which is a switch up from who we usually have, but it's great to see Kyle Mason out on the field recovering from an ACL last fall.
Bowman trying to make a move, fires, had his right shoulder taken from him. He misses wide. Possession will stay with North Greenville. For the Partisans here, they are seeing a little too much action here near the south end zone.
Absolutely, but the Bears are playing good, solid defense here. Great save by Johnson.
And now Johnson again can look to outlet.
Ball gets the ball to Starkey. Starkey's got LSM, going to be able to take it over.
The senior from the Woodlands, Texas. So that pass deflected away. And now the Crusaders trying to recover it, and they'll have it.
Oh, great check by Mason. Get the ball up. It's a great job by Mason to stand his ground and stop an absolute stone-cold fast break.
North Greenville maintaining possession here on the near side. 6.5 minutes remaining in this third period. Hayden goes back to Brooks behind the frame.
North Greenville's got Masson hung.
Cesare fires.
Yep, that's going to be an interference call on. Yep, that's absolutely correct call. The North Greenville player was tiptoeing on the crease. He got pushed in the back. We're getting some boos over here to the left, but no, that's absolutely the correct call. That's absolutely an interference call, and it's and that's just all he didn't have to extend. If he doesn't extend his arms, he just cuts it off from moving around. The guy falls in the crease. It's probably nothing. But when you extend your arms and push, that's going to be a flag every day of the week.
So North Greenville will have it slotted on the near side. With 5:58 remaining in the period, they've got a fresh 60 to work with, down 2 goals. In a man-up situation.
Man up for 30 seconds.
Cesare fires, misses high. The beautiful thing about being between the bricks is that you're going to pepper the bricks with a lot of shots here in the game of lacrosse.
Absolutely.
Especially to the south end zone. A lot of action we've seen today.
We're even. Good job by the Bears killing the interference penalty, and now they get just to play 6-on-6 defense.
Now, Jamie, one thing to consider for those that are relatively new to lacrosse is the interval between the time that you have, the 30 seconds that you've worked off the
Great job by Christian Starkey to get to the ball first.
You have the man-up situation, and the Bears were able to work off the 30 seconds, but it's that 5-second interval from the time they get out of the box and back actively into the field of play that can be just as treacherous as the penalty itself.
Yeah, you're even, but you're not actually even, if that makes sense.
Voss behind the frame, trying to create an angle.
Great job by Voss. Needs to take one more step to glory.
Now Moffitt will track it down for the Bears. Canada.
Great job.
The shot
by Joey Venazio. Caught the ball with his back absolutely to the goal, turned to the correct way to his right, to the middle of the goal, dropped his stick and went high.
So Venazio with the clout stops the 4-goal run for the Crusaders, and the lead goes back to a much more comfortable 11-8 score for the Partisans here in Hickory.
Yeah, great unselfish play by Will Canada as well. He was in a great place to take a shot, but Venazio made a great back cut absolutely clear, and Canada gets the assist. Venazio gets the goal. We get 2 points on the scoreboard instead of just 1.
North Greenville still not able to track it down. They do finally.
One thing I haven't seen the Bears go into just yet in this game, I'm not sure if Coach P is keeping it in his back pocket for the right situation. We've not seen a 10-man ride yet.
There's an opportunity for the shot taken, misses wide left. So that was Hayden that took a straight line run toward the frame but missed the shot.
And paid the price.
Santini back to the top with Hayden. Slotted over on the far side is Bowman. Now Bowman will shift across.
It's dangerously close to a Ward.
And the shot misses again. It'll stay with North Greenville. 3:43 remaining here in this third period. An 11-8 lead for the Bears. The Bears have never trailed in this contest and have had the lead since pretty much about the 8-minute mark of the first period. Cesare misses high as he tried to bound it.
Yeah, Victor Powell just was relentless in getting in his hands and caused that shot to go short into the ground, turf hard, bouncing up hard with a hard bounce. That's going to be collected by over with the big hard bounce short of the goal, went up and over.
Bowman.
Great job by Lee and
running
Farrell.
Out of time, and that ball's going to get launched up into the back row of the stands here.
That's just a shot clock violation. They knew it was coming. They're going to throw it out of bounds so the Bears don't get a turnover. We're going to go the other way.
Got to make sure we've got an insurance sponsor here because I might have to file a claim as the way that one was launched into the crowd.
Yeah, Eric hit a crossbar in high school. Skipped off the crossbar, went over the grandstand into the road, and I got a text saying, "What's your car insurance policy number?" Yeah, balls can do a heck of a damage on a windshield.
Canada takes it back out.
Bryce needs to get a little bit on a roll here. Good job.
Eccleston trying to make a move.
That's
trying
off,
to go
that's
short
off
side.
the side of the goal, so that's not a shot clock reset. Did not hit the post, hit the netting on the side of the goal.
The possession timer now at 20 seconds. Eccleston back to Reese. Got to move quickly. Moffitt shoots it high. So with Moffitt, number 12, shooting, there's now 12 seconds on the possession. Voss is going to go. He's got to go now. Moffitt misses high.
Just high. What that little bit of an error in the technique there, Miles's elbows were a little bit too close to the body, caused him to force that ball a little bit high. When he's shooting best from the outside, he gets his arms fully extended, and the ball can go almost anywhere. Goalie has no way of tracking it.
So North Greenville turns away the Bears with inside a minute and a half remaining in the period.
Great ride by LR off a mental mistake by North Greenville.
Moffitt examines.
Oh, my goodness.
That shot whipped from the long stick midfielder. So that was Aiden Lassiter who fired the shot.
Great to see Aiden Lassiter back on the field this year. He took a year off last year because of some injuries, and he's back on the field contributing in a big way, and all his teammates are super happy that he's here playing between the bricks.
Inside a minute remaining here in period number 3.
It's a great ride. It's a great ride by the Bears. North Greenville, two clears in a row, have had 2 unsuccessful clears just off of good pressure. Not necessarily a 10-man ride, just great pressure from the attack, working hard to get the ball back. Do a great job. Here's a simple clear by LR, gets it over to Powell. Powell to Venazio. Everybody take a breath. Got a redshirt senior grad student with all the experience in the world. Settling the ball so we can play a little offense.
15 seconds remaining. Venazio finds Eccleston, and Eccleston finds the back of the net. And back-to-back goals for the Bears just at the end of the period have stretched the lead back to 4.
And Venazio's not going to get an assist on that play because Eccleston dodged, but 100% the Bears scored that goal because of the heady play by an experienced player from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Venazio threading the needle to Eccleston. Eccleston taking care of the business end of things, and it's a 4-goal advantage for Lenoir-Rhyne.
That's heady leadership by an experienced player. Oh, we're gonna go move the ball, throw it early.
The shot never really developed as it was Macon Sumner that tried to fire.
Yep.
The ball will be launched to the other end of the field.
Yep.
And that'll do it. 3 periods in the books. Back-to-back goals for the Bears to close out the third have stretched the lead back to 4. When we come back, we'll have the 4th period here on the Bears Sports Network.
Everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
We're back here in Hickory. As you see just beyond the field of play, you see the spires rising. That press box area going to be completed in time for the upcoming football season. And when you're looking for a general contractor, you need someone you can depend on, and you certainly want someone with the ability you require. You can depend on David E. Looper to respond to your needs, from timeliness to budget. If you need to know more, check out the website at delcompany.com. That's delcompany.com. Brian Rushing here along with Jamie Dickinson and our director Kennedy Connor this afternoon. Jamie, 3 periods in the books, a couple of harrowing moments for the Bears as a 4-goal run cut it to 2, but then they respond with 2 goals to wrap up the 3rd period. We go to the 4th, and your thoughts?
Bears did a great job of weathering the storm, getting through the run of North Greenville, not letting it be more than 4, keeping it manageable. Now they've got a 4-goal lead. Now it's an opportunity to extend. I just want to, before we get started here with the 4th quarter, I want to extend a Bear welcome and a North Greenville welcome to the Moffitt grandparents who are up north of the border. I'm not sure exactly what the temperature is up there, but it's certainly colder than it's here. I'd like to say hi to Diane Berry and Grandma Donna up in Alberta. Hope you all are doing well, staying warm, and enjoying watching your 2 grandsons running around on the field here between the bricks.
You know, and Jamie, you mentioned that. Of course, the Grey Cup is played at a different time of the year than our big game here stateside.
But we should probably play our big game in January in the snow. It's always the Grey Cup's always better because it's usually played in a snowstorm.
Well, the reason I say all of that is, of course, the big game tomorrow. Pizza's definitely going to be one of the staples of the big game. Whatever your favorite topping is, Domino's, located just a few blocks from campus on 2nd Street, is a proud supporter of LR Athletics. Order using the Domino's app and have it delivered to your next game or your watch party.
Oh, great save by the North Greenville keeper off of face-off win out the front. Stood his ground. Moffitt probably wants that one back and wants the ability to make a fake and switch levels. A little bit too predictable on that shot.
And if you're wondering, students that are tuning in this afternoon, you can use your Bears bucks at the Domino's, which is always important.
Another great job by the Bears. That's a failed clear. Didn't get it over the midfield line by 60 seconds. The Bears are going to go press. Let's see what we got. Good job by North Greenville getting back in the hole, protecting the middle of the field, causing the LR Bears to settle and run half-field offense.
Jamie, I would imagine that the next few exchanges in this contest could pretty much spell whether North Greenville is truly able to get back all the way into this contest.
Venazio needs to keep his head up. He ran right into that guy subbing in off the bench. That's a mental mistake by Venazio.
The Bears with the 4-goal advantage.
Good job by Linklater. That's 5 clears in a row that North Greenville has failed.
Voss to Venazio, and they'll reset the offense.
Yep. Good play by Venazio to settle the ball.
I think for the home folks here today, if the Bears were able to click a couple of goals here in the early segments of the 4th period, that might be enough distance to secure the win for Lenoir-Rhyne today.
That's going to be a slash. It wasn't intentional. Nice sportsmanship by the North Greenville player, number 42. That is Dalton Wilkins. Great sportsmanship. Slashed Eccleston in the place no one wants to get slashed, and just didn't mean to do it intentionally. Still a penalty. Great sportsmanship by him to stop and make sure the player's okay and continue on. We're going to continue the game here with Bears man up.
So the Bears will have the advantage with 13:31 remaining in the 4th period, trying to stretch the 4-goal advantage. It got to as few as 2 midway through the 3rd period.
One of the things the Bears did last weekend, they struggled a little bit on man up. We need to get the man up here unit here clicking. Oop, that never got through. That hit a defender on the way in.
That was Will Kanata that fired wide left. Still 38 seconds on the possession. And Eccleston tried to fire quickly, but it was deflected away. It's still in the corner, and North Greenville possesses.
Great ride by Eccleston. That's a 6th failed clear in a row. LR needs to recognize they're playing 4 against 5. Good job. Still playing only with 5 guys. North Greenville has killed a penalty, playing 6 on 6.
Kanata back behind the frame to Venazio. Still 45 on the timer. Reese at the top. Kanata to Reese.
That's off the crossbar and over into the David Looper, actually over and into the practice field past the David Looper construction zone.
Well, the thing that concerned me is he just about hit the fuel tanker.
Bears are currently 2 for 3 in the extra man. They were 100% until that last opportunity.
Eccleston fires. This is wide. Reese draws 2 defenders and found Moffitt, and Moffitt took care of the business end.
Yep, Moffitt caught the ball, paid the price, finished. Great job by Moffitt. Great job by Reese to go across the drop and draw the eyes and the motion of the defense away from Moffitt, which allowed him to get into a little spot right in the heart of that zone. I believe they're playing a little bit of a zone defense there, and finish top right.
So Moffitt gets the goal, and it stretches the lead with 11:34 to play to 13-8.
Great job by the faceoff. Just was patient, didn't panic when he couldn't find the ball initially. Just found it, scooped it up, ran to green grass or green turf, and gets another possession for the team in white.
Moffitt behind the frame to Venazio. Aguilar over on the far side. Venazio fires. And it stretches the lead to 6. 14-8 the score with 11 minutes to go. And it looks like that the Bears are trying to put this one to bed a little early this afternoon.
Yeah, that's a great job by Tommy Aguilar. Ran to the goal, got forced below to X, but kept his head up. Saw Venazio cut into open space, made a simple pass. All Venazio had to do was catch the ball, turn, and miss the goalie.
So a 14-8 lead for the Bears. And much what we saw at the tail end of the second period, we're beginning to see here in the early going of period number 4. Both very important segments of the contest.
Absolutely, and it's got to be North Greenville's been playing a ton of defense, and they're going to play a little bit more. And it just like you said earlier in the game, it's not only physically taxing, it's also extremely mentally taxing. You just get tired of sliding and talking and communicating, and you stop talking and you stop communicating, and then your feet stop, and then you start playing defense with your stick instead of your feet, and ball ends up in the back of the net.
You know, Jamie, the way that I've described the face-off to folks that are not familiar with lacrosse is it's effectively the way that basketball used to be played in an olden day when you would have a jump ball after every basket. And it's sort of like having a 7-foot, 3-inch center that can win the jump ball for you at every turn. That's how important the face-off is for these folks. And Aguilar finds the net.
Tommy Aguilar getting his first of the season. Super happy for him. Tommy Aguilar is going to be a huge part of the Bears' success this year. It's really important we get him building some confidence, moving into some really difficult games coming up. Nice to see him get on the score sheet.
And it stretches the lead to 7 for the Bears with 10:14 remaining.
Yeah, it's just there's some movement in lacrosse to try to eliminate the faceoff, which I think is the wrong thing to do. It allows a team that is behind to catch up because they can win faceoffs, or it allows a team to salt away a victory. Oh, he just needs to shoot that. There we go.
And just like that, the response is Macon Sumner with the goal.
And from the reaction of the bench, I'm guessing that's Macon Sumner's first career goal. We got guys over there throwing water up in the air, having a good time.
And just like that, the Bears have doubled up on the Crusaders, 16-8, 10:07 left to play. We'll be back in just a moment on the Bears Sports Network. Back here between the bricks, and a 16-8 lead for the Bears as they had a 3-goal advantage going in to the final period. But they have rattled off a big number already here in the fourth period to take the 16-8 advantage with 10:07 to play. Folks, what is your game plan to reach your financial goals? Call LR alums Ryan Edwards, Les Stewart, Bob Fincher, and the team at Southeast Retirement Planners to help you put a successful game plan in place. Special thanks to Southeast Retirement Planners. Jamie, you got some scores from around the area. Take it away.
Yeah, I got some D2 games that have gone final. Limestone won by 10, 17-7. Mars Hill absolutely smoked Shorter, 22-7. Here's a bit of an upset, bit of not an upset, giving Wingate's number 2. Wingate wins 16-12. And in the fourth quarter, a low-scoring affair at Belmont Abbey, 10-8 Florida Tech. The next two opponents of the Bears, Florida Tech Monday, Belmont Abbey next Saturday. It's a 10-8 game in the fourth quarter. We'll look at some Division I scores here in a little bit when we get a chance. Shot off the post.
So we'll have a whistle stopping play. And possession will go to North Greenville.
Absolutely.
9:51 remaining in the contest. The Bears have opened it up. They did so just before the halftime intermission. North Greenville actually rattled off 4 goals in succession, 3 of them coming to begin the third period of play. But since then, the Bears have retaken possession of this contest, and now they have a comfortable advantage against the Crusaders.
Absolutely. North Greenville playing patient offense here.
This is a club in North Greenville last year that finished 7-7. However, you take a look at what they were able to do. They had 2 wins against top 20 competition at the Division II. The real big win was against number 6 Mount Olive last season.
Great job by the Bears picking up the ground ball. That was going to be an over and back. Voss picks the ball up cleanly to keep possession and keep going rather than getting a whistle. So the Bears are going to go play offense.
We'll have a stoppage of play here.
We have an injury timeout. Christian Starkey's looks like he's cramping a little bit. He had a problem with that last year at the end of the season with that. So we're going to Dudek is going to walk Christian over to the sideline. He's probably done for the day, and we're going to wait. While we're waiting for Christian to get to the sideline, here's a couple of D1 scores. Always like to start with the service academies. Navy, after losing last weekend, has beaten Mercer 15-5, and Army, in a rivalry game, has gone 1-up against UMass. 2 of Jack Dickinson and Eric Dickinson's best friends from high school, the Kelly brothers, playing on that Army team. Great to see Army get a win and Navy get a win.
So we'll carry on here with Aguilar possessing for the Bears. Shot taken. The shot was smothered.
What I'm seeing from the North Greenville goalie, he likes to go down to his knees almost like a butterfly goalie in a hockey. If the Bears will just give a little bit of a head fake or shoulder fake with their shots, they're going to have basically the whole top half of the net to shoot at here as they go forward. I'm sure they'll probably see that on tape.
North Greenville with possession, trying to cut into this 8-goal separation between the two clubs. It's Jackson Corson on the near side. The pass incomplete, and it'll go back to the Bears.
Nice job by Nate Ashley from IMG Academy down in Florida, doing a great job on the defense, playing short stick defense. Got up underneath the North Greenville player's stick, lifted it as he's making the pass, causing that pass to go out of bounds. LR's got 10 seconds to get it over the line. Kyle Mason with a bullet pass to his, is that his room? No, they don't room together. Benazzi was wide open on the backside.
Moffitt to
Aguilar. Aguilar needs to shoot that ball. He's going to look at tape and realize that was a shot.
Venazio back at the top.
Another great save by the North Greenville goalie. The goalie's kind of keeping this reasonable, keeping him in the game.
Garrison Story had 9 saves in the contest last week against Young Harris. But this is a slightly different level of pressure that Lenoir-Rhyne has put on this club. Of course, last week, North Greenville got a 12-3 victory over Young Harris. The Mountain Lions, I believe it is.
Yes, that's correct. Gorgeous place to play a lacrosse game, tucked up on the hills in North Georgia. That's the first time in 2017 LR went and played there, and the opening song of their warm-up tape is Dueling Banjos, which seemed kind of fitting playing in North Georgia.
There you go, and I actually heard that, and I was a little surprised.
Yep.
That's not commonplace for a lot of lacrosse programs for a myriad of reasons.
Yes, yeah, and the Bears thought so much of it, they put it about their 5th song on their pregame warm-up tape. And I've seen a couple of teams come in here when they're from the north, come in here to Hickory between the bricks, and the Dueling Banjos starts, and the kids are standing there going, "What? Oh, is that a shot? Oh my goodness, that almost went in again."
We had a collision of players.
And unfortunately, we got 2 North Greenville players down. We got the goalie and a defender who were going to try to save it. I think the keeper took the worst of that blow. The defender also, I think, probably got something in the lower body. Maybe we had the goalie's head hit the defender's knee. Goalie was trying to dive for the ball. The defender was coming across. Hope everybody's okay, but this is not a good one. 2 guys were just not paying attention to their teammate and just going for a wound up at the same time in the same place. We're going to probably have a goalie sub here for North Greenville.
We will indeed.
Actually, the rules in lacrosse say that if play is stopped for an injured player, the player must leave the field. So we're obviously going to have a substitution here with a goalie. I'm going to guess that it's going to take a little bit.
So let's go ahead and do this. While we've got an opportunity, let's go ahead and take a break here while we're tending to the injured North Greenville player, as it's a 16-8 game with 5:41 to play here on the Bears Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Okay. Paramount Hyundai in Hickory, where every new Hyundai comes standard with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Shop online for new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs at ParamountHyundai.com. Special thanks to their sponsorship support of the LR Bears as we're back to action. We do have a new netminder. That's Gabe Nelson, the freshman out of Littleton, Colorado, for the Crusaders. Inside 5.5 minutes remaining.
Jack Dickinson dodging from up top. Oh, didn't get through. Got stopped by the defender, the short stick defender. Got on his stick, blocked it. Nice job by North Greenville. It's always hard to, without a warm up, for a goalie to get in the goal. So he's in the goal. He's actually got his first touch on the ball, so he'll relax a little bit. Needs to make a save and get into the rhythm of the game. Looks like the North Greenville goalie who was injured is sitting on the bench over there. He's probably going to go into, from the looks of everything there, he was able to walk off the field under his own power, but he, as they say in the old days, got his bell rung pretty bad, so he's probably going to go into concussion protocol.
The shot misses short.
And LR's got a freshman goalie in there as well. Nico Moriartis is in the goal for the Bears. So we've had two goalie subs. Nice to see Coach P having some younger kids and some kids off the end of the bench get out on the field.
And, Jamie, that was actually Moriartis that actually fired the shot down on the opposite end that caused the delay with the injury. So right. Moriartis saw the opening and fired the shot.
Yep. White was offsides. No, that was the right call.
So North Greenville will have possession nearing the 4-minute mark remaining. Of course, when we're done here, we'll have the East Coast Wings post-game report where myself and Jamie will talk about the action.
David Bell went offsides. Made a mental mistake there, went offsides. Bears are going to go down for 30 seconds. Nice to see Jared Maybreck out there on the field as well. Okay, that's going to waive the penalty.
Devin Napoli finds the back of the net. The sophomore from Wallingford, Connecticut, cuts the lead back to 7. It's 16-9.
I bet the weather's not quite as nice in Wallingford than it is here today.
I'm telling you, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a place that's got better weather than what we're experiencing today.
Yep.
It'll balance itself tomorrow from what we're being told, but today we'll take it.
Kennedy over here to our left, every time a cloud goes over the sun, she puts her jacket on. I'm like, come on.
Well, fortunately for us, much of the cloudiness is happening north of us in the high country.
Absolutely. Oh, nice. How's that a white hold? Not really sure how that was a white hold, but that's the way they pointed, so that's what we're going to do. Jared Maybreck, seeing his first action in a couple of years, had a shoulder reconstruction and a knee reconstruction, so it's great to see him out there running around on the field. Nice save by Moriartis. And a ground ball by Mason. Just run, Kyle. Oh, nice play by the North Greenville goalie intercepting that pass.
And that's
it's the job of the other guys to count if he goes and plays defense. So they're figuring out who's going to go take a knee. It is Price after the game. Tim Price was actually Eric's first travel ball coach back when Eric was about 8 years old, playing travel ball for the first time in Charlotte. Nice job by North Greenville working the ball patiently, scoring on a man-up opportunity.
Kyle Bowman, the sophomore out of Glen Ellen, Illinois, gets the tally to make the lead 16-10 in favor of the Bears with 1:57 remaining. Now, Jamie, we talked about it as we updated some of the scores earlier in the afternoon, but you've got Florida Tech coming in here for a noon start on the 14th. And then you take 12 days off and prepare for a road trip just down 321 to Belmont, North Carolina to take on the Belmont Abbey Crusaders. That'll be a 1 o'clock start on Saturday the 26th. It's good to get this first win out of the way, but now as they begin to set their sights on what's coming up on Monday and then the following 2 Saturdays from now, I would imagine they just want to continue to build the momentum as they progress through the non-conference slate.
Another save by Moriartis, and we're going the other way. Yep, White. We had a Hatcher sighting in the crease. Yes, it was a shot, and after the shot, one of the Hatcher brothers landed in the crease, so it's going to be black ball. Absolutely correct call by Dan Dulzima.
So North Greenville will have possession. 1:18 remaining in the contest.
Gabe Smith from Eastern North Carolina out there running around.
Cesare fires. Cesare bangs it home.
Nice job. Nice patient offense by North Greenville. But also, it's important that Greg Paradine has gone out here. He's got. He's also got. Who's that?
3 consecutive goals for the Crusaders have mitigated the separation between the two clubs. And certainly given them something to look forward to as they review the film coming up in the next days.
But Coach P is also doing something that's going to pay huge dividends later in the year. He's getting some kids some meaningful minutes and allowing them to play during live action rather than just in practice. So this is going to help add the LR depth as we go forward into our SAC schedule later in March and April.
Which was one of the things that we touched on in the pregame show, is trying to get some depth and some meaningful depth to this club as you go through the rigors.
That's got to feel great for Jared Maybrecht to make an interception there on that pass and cause a turnover and then trigger a successful clear. Under 30 seconds, right at 30 seconds left.
The possession clock is a non-factor at this juncture. As Lenoir-Rhyne will salt away the remainder of the clock, it would stand to reason.
Mikey Caholen seeing some action. Jack Dickinson running on, asking for the ball. Probably not going to get the ball because the ball is going to go through X.
And that'll do it.
Good business-like win for the Bears.
The Lenoir-Rhyne Bears take 2 separate spurts in this contest to separate themselves from North Greenville, winning this afternoon 16-11. We come back, we'll have the East Coast Wings postgame show here on the Bears Sports Network. Back here on the East Coast Wings post-game show. I want to thank the good folks with East Coast Wings for their support of the LR Bears this afternoon. The Bears with a 16-11 win over North Greenville in the second meeting between these two clubs in consecutive years, the first 2 times they've met in the program's histories. Jamie Dickinson here along with Brian Rushing. Jamie, a 16-11 win A little bit of tension in the third period, but obviously the Bears had the wherewithal to turn it on offensively in two major segments of this contest. Let's get your overview of this contest.
Just a great business-like. I guess I would chalk that up into a great business-like win. This is a game that LR should win. They did. They played really well. We saw some flashes of real LR lacrosse there in the second quarter and the third quarter. In the first quarter and the third quarter. And Greg Paradine's got to be really pleased with what he saw on the field today. Much improved from last weekend, but he's also got a lot to work with. There's some stuff they need to clean up, some mental errors, and Coach P will never get upset about a physical error, but those mental errors get him pretty hot.
Well, and you touched on it, Jamie. The reality is there is stuff to work on, but as you can see, this is a club that has plenty to work with at the same time. There's plenty of firepower on this club, and if this club has their sights on having the same result as they did last year, this is a step in the right direction.
It's a huge step in the right direction. Got the ship righted after a really shaky start, especially in the first half last weekend. And we move on to Florida Tech on Monday, and then actually we play Belmont Abbey a week from today in Belmont, North Carolina. We hope everybody makes it out to that game. Everybody who's down there in Charlotte watching the Bear Sports Network, please make plans to be up make a 15-minute drive down the road to watch that game. And then President's Day weekend, we go down to Savannah to play Tampa in a rematch for the national quarterfinal that the Bears won in overtime last year.
Now let's talk briefly about the game on Monday against Florida Tech. It's a quick turnaround time. You don't have a lot of recovery time. You'll have to make some adjustments on the fly. If you're Greg Paradine, what are some of the things that are of utmost importance for this club preparing for Monday?
Just keep doing what we do. Just take what we did today and learn from it and move forward. And fortunately, I watched the Florida Tech game versus Rollins, which was their first game of the year. I would say that North Greenville and Florida Tech are pretty similar, so it's not like you got to go from playing someone who plays fast to someone who plays slow. So the preparation is very similar as far as you're not preparing for a different team. You're basically all the work they did in practice will basically prepare them this week for this game. We'll also prepare them for Monday's game, and as a matter of fact, we'll also prepare us for next Saturday's game against North Carolina. Now here, I hope the camera's showing the midfield. It's a great bit of sportsmanship. North Greenville's taking the center circle. The Bears are taking the center circle. The players are all intermingling. They're not all staying on one side. It's got players next. I believe the North Greenville coach is going to lead us in a prayer. So that's just something we missed a whole lot of last year in the spirit of sportsmanship with lacrosse. It's great to see it back. We got players from both squads, arms up on everybody's shoulders. Pretty cool to see.
And that's the shot that we're going to go away with this afternoon. Of course, the Bears will be on the pitch next Monday against Florida Tech. That'll be a noontime start. So for all the good folks here at the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears Sports Network, Kennedy Connor, our director today, executive producer Danny Nikosha, and then, of course, sports information director Jeremy Zalaka. This is Brian Rushing saying goodbye along with my broadcast partner, Jamie Dickinson, as it's a 16-11 win for the Bears this afternoon. We'll see you next time on the Bears Sports Network. Goodbye, everybody.